All right, today we're going over reducing fractions. To reduce a fraction, we need to reduce or simplify. There are a few ways we can do it. And first off, when I say reduce or simplify a fraction, I'm talking about needing to make the fraction into simplest terms. To do this, we need to divide both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So numerator So when we have any number over itself, that means we've got 1. So for example, if we divide the numerator and denominator by the same number, maybe we're dividing it by 5 over 5. 5 over 5 is equal to 1. So dividing by 5 over 5 is the same thing as dividing by 1, and that keeps our fraction balanced with the numerator and denominator. When we need to simplify a fraction and we're trying to think of what we can divide by, because, for example, 5 over 5 won't evenly come out of every number. When we're deciding what to divide by, there's a couple of different tactics we can use. First, we can use just common factors that we recognize to find a common number to divide by, or we could also use prime factorization. So for common factors, and I think this is the one that most people gravitate towards, but for common factors, for example, if we had 4/6, looking at 4/6, we might recognize that both of these numbers are even numbers, so they can both be divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 4/6 simplifies or reduces down to 2/3. For another example, we'll do 25 over 35. Both of these numbers end with 5, so we know they're both divisible by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 35 divided by 5 is 7. So we've reduced down to simplest terms. And when I say simplest terms, one thing that helps me know if we're simplest terms is if we have our prime numbers. If one of our numbers is prime, then that means the other number either we couldn't simplify if the other number can't be divided by that prime number. So just a reminder, our prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and then they keep going. And then just to throw in, if one of our numbers in our fraction is 1, then we're in simplest terms because 1 is only divisible by 1, and that's not going to help us simplify anymore. So our other tactic we can use here is prime factorization. And I'll be honest, most of the time I use the recognizing common factors tactic over prime factorization because I just recognize numbers and recognize that more often because I teach math. But prime factorization is good when you're kind of stuck on the numbers and you're not sure what could come out. So for example, if we had 32 over 40, And these are both bigger numbers, so maybe we don't recognize something that could come out. We could prime factor these numbers. I'm going to start with 32, and I need to think of two numbers that can multiply to get me 32. And first thing I'm thinking of is 8 times 4. Neither 8 or 4 are prime, so I'll factor those down. 8 factors into 2 times 4, and 4 factors into 2 times 2. Now I have some prime numbers here, and I'm going to circle those. I've got a 2, and another 2. And my 4 is not prime, so I'm going to break it down some more. 4 breaks into 2 times 2. And I'll circle those 2's. And then I like to have everything lined up, so I'm actually going to write down all of my 2's I have. So I have 1 2, 2 2's, 3 2's, 4 2's, and then 5 2's. That's my prime factors for 32. And for 40, I'll do the same thing. I'm actually going to move it over 40. 40 can break into 4 times 10. And then we'll break down our 4. 4 is 2 times 2. And then break down our 10. 10 breaks into 2 times 5. 2 is prime, so I'm going to circle all my 2's. And 5 is also prime, so I'll circle it. And then I'll line it up down below. 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Now to find a common factor that we can pull out of 32 and 40, we'll circle the numbers they have in common. So they both have a 2, they both have another 2, and they both have a third 2. 32 has 2 extra 2's and 40 has a 5. So the numbers that can come out of 32 and 40 are 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So both 32 and 40 are divisible by 8. And when I figure out my factors, I'm only going to take the 2's from one, or the numbers from one of the sets. I don't multiply all 6 2's. That's not how it works. So I'll do 32 divided by 8 and 40 divided by 8. 32 divided by 8 was 4. And then 40 divided by 8 is 5. So I factored this down. 32 over 40 reduces down into 4/5. And that's all I wanted to go over today. So if you have any questions on prime factorization or anything else with math, just feel free to let me know.